But when you don't build connections with patients, when patients are numbers, when you see them and you don't even recognize their faces or their names anymore because you have so many and so fast, so furious, that vitamin for my soul is not present anymore. Patients feel very disappointed, very lonely, very lost in a healthcare system that is not necessarily very pro-human. Professional in general, nurses and psychologists, etc. The other side, they feel as lost as the patients are because we cannot do what we necessarily feel is correct or the best option. So we are struggling.
Hey there. Welcome to the Peakality Podcast, your new favorite spot for unlocking the best version of yourself. Ready to level up your life? We've got you. We're all about blending technology with human wisdom and the drive to be better, personally and professionally. Each week, we dig into the real stuff, strategies, tools, and mindsets that cut through the noise and help you thrive. No fluff, just practical insights from experts, thought leaders, and people who've been there, done that. And we're here to break it all down into easy steps. Whether you're kicking off a fresh start or a physician seeking to inspire your patients, we've got stories, tips, and tricks to inspire growth in each area of life. Your peak potential is calling, starting right now. Hit subscribe, join our crew, and let's move forward today. In today's episode, we welcome Dr. Miriam Zylberglait, also known as Dr. Z. She's a triple board certified physician in internal medicine, geriatrics, and obesity medicine. She's also the founder of Virtual Well Being M.D, a clinic providing comprehensive holistic care through the use of advanced technology, emotional support, and evidence-based treatment. She's passionate about helping patients protect and improve not just their physical health, but their emotional and future quality of life. Dr. Z is also the author of 3G Cycle of Life, The Secrets of Achieving Joy, Meaning, and Well-Being, a #1 bestseller and award-winning book. She recently co-authored a children's version of that book, The 3G Cycle Quest, along with her 2 sons. And she's also the creator of You Only Better, a retreat experience designed specifically for women who want to reconnect with their inner strength and reset their well-being. Let's welcome Dr. Z. So thank you again for doing this. And let's begin with your journey. You know, you're board certified in 3 specialties and you've built an incredible, successful medical career. Like, what made you shift and have your focus more on holistic well-being to start your own clinic with Virtual Wellbeing M.D?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor. I don't think that I change as a physician or as a person. I believe that, in fact, I went back to my roots and who I am and why I went to medical school. I am Peruvian. I grew up in Peru and I went to medical school there with this dream of helping people and changing lives. In Peru, being a physician is not an equivalent of having a lot of money or being in a very high social status. However, people love you and recognize you for the good that you do.
That's
So when I
interesting.
came,
I did not know that about the Peruvian culture.
yes, medicine is not money maker. Physicians struggle financially in general in Peru. Some of them they have to work in 2 or 3 different places. It's not as fancy or elegant as you see it here. In Peru, medicine is truly a career of service. Um, and when you go to medical school there, it's because you really like it and you really want to help. And it's not because you want to make money. That is for sure. So when I came here, I was amazed by the technology and the beautiful hospitals and so many amazing things that happen in the US because I have to recognize uh, the healthcare system is more modern in many ways, and you have so much access to new things, right? To new
But you were
technology.
still, to clarify, you were still working with the Peruvian naval or the Navy for the Peruvian government. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, I worked there as a physician for 10 years for the Navy in the geriatric center serving. And I was also in academia and research. Yes, I will call it successful in my career. I met my husband here in Miami, and after 1 year of back and forth, Miami Lima, he proposed me, and suddenly I was quitting my job and in Peru and accepting the challenge of transforming myself into a physician in the U.S. So. Um, yeah, very interesting challenge. To start from zero. But yes, I was absolutely in love with what the future, had for me. And it was exciting. But with time, I also discovered that I was not able to be the doctor that I wanted under the system where I was, because the structure of this system prioritize production and not necessarily quality of care. Uh, and I found myself frustrated when I was supposed to support people, and especially in my case, as a triple board certified internal medicine geriatrics obesity, my patients are complex, are not coming for a sore throat or for a checkup. These are complex patients that require more time and more support. So 15 minutes appointments and running one after the other and collecting blank notes to fill at the end of the day didn't necessarily fit my my standards, cause a lot of frustration and for me disappointment also. I used to nurture myself during my long nights and days in medicine and my challenging classes and my difficult patients and etc. Um, by the love that I will receive from patients. And I understand that this may sound bizarre because, in theory, we are here to serve patients. But what patients do not understand, love us in some way too. They, with their smile, with their thank you, with their improvement, right? They are giving us, in some way, some type of feedback that I call vitamins for my soul that allow me to build this resilience and this energy that keeps me moving and that keeps me with a smile in the face for the next patient and the next challenge. But when you don't build connections with patients, when patients are numbers, when you see them and you don't even recognize their faces or their names anymore because you have so many and so fast, so furious, that vitamin for my soul is not present anymore. And big part of what I thought was important for me in medicine was lost. So yes, building my clinic and creating my own system was a way to not change who I am, but actually go back to who I am as a physician, as a person, and to be aligned with my values.
Oh, that's beautiful because I see uh the challenges that physicians have with their limited time that they have with each patient. And while they have the best intentions of serving them with the right expertise that you have to help them, you're still on a requirement that the system has established for you to see each patient within a certain period of time. And so, my best friend, when she was dying of cancer, she said to me, you are your own best advocate for your health, and that the doctors, while you think that they are looking out for you and they may have the best intentions, they also have a million other patients. So you are going to be your biggest advocate for your health, and you've got to pay attention to your body. You got to pay attention to what is being prescribed to you. You have to have accountability for your own health and your own journey within health. And I think that that's what you're doing, is you're also doing that for yourself, and how you're helping guide those individuals, and have an accountability for yourself as a physician for them. And I think that that's a beautiful way to see how the relationship between the patient and the provider should actually be conducted, and that the individual is looking out for themselves and paying attention, as well as a physician can have the time, effort, and energy that they want to help them in their patient's journey. I think that's
Yes,
amazing.
and what you are saying, and thank you so much for bringing the story of your friend, because I believe that this bring the human touch that we always need, right? This is not an isolated story. This is really happening to people. Um, Patients feel very disappointed, very lonely, very lost in a healthcare system that is not necessarily very pro-human. It's more pro-profit.
Yeah.
Uh, Doctors on the other side, and when I say doctors, really, I talk about the healthcare professional in general, nurses and psychologists, etc. The other side, they feel as lost as the patients are, because we cannot do what we necessarily feel is correct, or the best option. So we are struggling. Um, and at this point, patients need to start taking responsibilities of their own health and advocate, as you mentioned, for themselves. And I feel that doctors, we need to start helping patients to be empowered. And empower comes from education. And I always say, knowledge is power, but only when action is included, right?
Yes.
So we need to start providing education to patients, and this can be done hopefully during your visits to the doctor. That will be probably the best scenario. But right now, with the use of social media and applications, and many other modalities, we can still, in an ethical way and evidence-based, keep educating the community and providing the community with tools that simplify the information and that allows them to understand what is happening to them, and what are the options and opportunities that are available for their specific situations and needs. And I feel that will remove the patient from the situation of being a victim of a healthcare system, right? That does not necessarily work very well, to be the owners of their own future. And who could care more about your body than you, or
Exactly.
someone that loves you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
And I love the fact that you're bringing in new technology and tools to help an individual identify what is best for them, and become aware of that. Can you speak into some of the technology that you're leveraging to help
yes.
empower individuals to have more knowledge and education about their own well-being?
Yes, and I do it very kind of enthusiastic. I feel very excited about this, because in some way it changed tremendously the way that I practice medicine. I keep the traditional format, and of course I will follow guidelines and respect, what is FDA approved and things like that. That doesn't change. What changes is how I apply that knowledge to a specific individuals. And why is that? Because now more than ever, we understand that each individual is very unique. And now it's not just an gut feeling, right? That we are unique, but now we have proof of that, and we can use DNA testing as part of our assessment to identify not only how our body works, what are our risk factors, what are our protective components, what type of medications will fit us better, what type of medications we should not even get close to. And of course, this also goes around what lifestyles, meaning food, exercise, sleep patterns, fasting, etc. We need to apply for our individual patient and individual cases. So today we can be more personalized in the way that we treat patients and we educate them. And we are teaching them how their body works so they can actually be empowered. Again, this word that is so important, empowered to take the right decisions based on who they are, physically and emotionally.
Yeah, which is really cool. And in fact, you actually break in your book the 3G cycle of life, outlines a powerful framework, goals, grit, and growth, to help individuals just really even know how to approach this well-being, uh, um, you know, purpose that you have been pursuing. Can you kind of speak into that a little bit more and like kind of walk us through what that looks like for you?
Yes, the 3D cycle, go grit, grow, really upon how I live my life in a resilient manner, or how I not only survive challenges, but I take advantage of them in some way. And I feel like even the book is more oriented to emotional, social aspects. This could be clearly applied to medicine in many ways. And I will use a medical example to explain goal, grit, and grow in this case to make the case. uh, when we know our goal, we can identify the tools that we have available, the gaps that we have, the questions, the opportunities, the challenges, and starting with a goal really is setting the first step in our journey for whatever it will be, right? And could be getting a career, buying the first house, or in the case of health, losing some weight, improving your glucose level, stop smoking, right? Exercise more. And as soon as you have a goal and you understand what it takes to make this goal into reality, uh, you you are ready to go. You're ready to start, right? You are in the right direction. And I believe that goal is, again, the first step for anything that we want to do in life. Now we need to be able to implement that, right? And to keep going, even when things get difficult. And things will get difficult. I mean, there's no doubt, right?
Yeah,
So if
we
you
have
think
no
that,
doubt of that.
oh, that's reality. Let's
Yeah,
embrace it, right? And just find out how we move through it, right? Because
exactly.
that difficulties, challenges will happen. So so grit, which is this internal energy that keeps you moving, right? Even during adversity, is what really allows you to push that car, right, during that journey. But before, years ago, I used to think that grit comes only from inside. And what I learned, especially during COVID and my own transformation and writing my book, is that truly grit could be motivated and inspired by others, right? That this could be not a lonely journey, but a collaborative journey where you have cheerleaders and a mentor and a role model and someone that is cleaning your tears and someone that is pushing you and challenge you so you get again up and you keep moving. So grit is the second component that is so important. We needed to keep going. And then, well, Challenges are really catalysts, right? And they come in different colors, different flavors, different sizes. But catalysts could be also positive, right? And good, and make the journey easier. And you could have in the goal of losing weight, for example, you could have a great metabolism. So you just smile and you lose weight, right? And it's
Yeah.
genetically like that. I don't know. Or you don't have a sweet teeth, so you could have a cake in front of you and you will just ignore it because you cannot even see it. It's not tasty for you. It's so easy to lose weight if you have those.
Yes, I would. Oh, I think
Oh,
you froze. Are you
I
there?
think I am here. You froze.
Oh, great. It's so okay, hang on. It's still catching up. I have all my bars. We'll edit that. Okay. Yeah. So um so
Oh,
yeah, I mean, where were we? By the way, we'll edit this out. We'll cut it.
yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, I
Uh
quit, right? So
yes.
so imagine that you are able to see a cake and avoid it, or because you don't like sweets, or you are able to just sit and watch TV and burn calories like that. That's such a great catalyst, right? That can,
Yeah.
but you could be on the other side where your metabolism is not so friendly, where you have uh, a culture where carbs are the most important part of the meal. So trying to lose the same weight for that person may be a little different. And those are the catalysts, right, that we could have in life. Social aspects, financial aspects, educational, genetic aspects may be there. The question is, what do we do with them, right? And how do we take them? Do we victimize ourselves because genetically we are not the way that we want, or financially we are not in the place that we want to be? Or we use challenges in our favor and we create ideas and modalities to improve our situation. We are resilient, we learn new skills, we ask for help, and we improve in front of any of those challenges. And this is our ability to go from victim to someone that grows, right? And that's why I finish this cycle with the idea of growth. Doesn't matter if you achieve your goal at the first time, doesn't matter if you change your mind and you have a new goal. But it's important is, what did you learn during the process, and how did you change? How did you transform yourself to a better version of yourself? And that's why goal, grit, and grow are not only companions of our emotional, professional, personal life, but I believe that they are companions of our physical life, our health, because we can apply them for goals that are more tangible, like going down with your weight, going better with uh, your muscle strength, stop smoking, whatever you plan to do in your health that will benefit you and will help you to be happier and healthier.
I think that's amazing. So, yeah, identify the goal, whatever it can be, then have the grit to pursue it, which
Yeah.
that grit is going to be physical within, like how you find the drive, how you find the action, but also the community, which I think is, beautiful and exactly what you're talking about. And then that's going to help you to then therefore grow. And I think that that is really beautiful. And I think that uh, two things that I know that you've touched base on in our, previous conversations is about the PTSG, the post traumatic growth, which I think is really interesting. Can you explain what that is and how, when someone's having in a lower level moment in their life, what PTSG actually stands for? That would be helpful.
Post-traumatic growth, right? That is it's a term that I learned just a few years ago. I learned it from my sister, who is a specialist in positive psychology, so that kind of belongs to that framework. And what it explains is the concept of being able to bounce back after a challenge or adversity, but not only to a point where we are resilient and we go back to our baseline, but to a point where we actually use what we face during adversity as a motivation, inspiration, and opportunity to learn and develop new skills. So we start from a point, we go down, submerge ourselves in difficult times, and not only we are resilient and we go back to where the person that we were 2 years ago, 1 year ago, or 1 month ago, but actually we use all that knowledge and that experience to keep growing and to become a better us, right?
Yeah,
And that post-traumatic growth process is very interesting because includes being part of a community or being related to a community, includes spirituality, includes the fact that after learning, majority of those that go through the transformation of post-traumatic growth will be helping others. And in some way, your story, and probably my story too, reflect that transformation, going through difficult times and finding a way not only to escape from the challenge, but actually to transform pain into purpose.
exactly.
Uh, and
Yes,
I believe, like you do, that it's a beautiful term because it's a term full of hope
yes, yes.
that we can do better.
And I think I think it's beautiful what you're doing and tying in your it's I think sometimes holistic healing is looked at as, kind of woo-woo talk. But I think how you are breaking it down and looking at the physical side, looking at the DNA, looking at how someone's physical aspects are really going to affect them and how they're interacting socially, how they're interacting with their family, with their loved ones, and looking at the person holistically. And when they're in a down place, whatever that goal is that they're trying to strive for, make sure that you're surrounded by the right people as well, is key in that journey and making sure that you're progressing back not only where you were, but taking that new knowledge and expand beyond. And I think that that's amazing. And I love that you are now turning this into retreats where you are helping people look at themselves holistically and well-rounded and looking not only the physical aspects, but the emotional aspects. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, before I mention a little more about the retreat, what I want to clarify is that I am not making the connection between the body and the emotions or the physical body and emotions. The connection exists.
Yes.
Maybe in the past we were thinking about depression, anxiety, or any mental health condition as something abstract, right? Just emotional, if you want to call it. I believe that today we can clearly report that this is neurophysiological conditions, that we have enough information to say that is a lack of balance in the production of substances in our brain and our bodies. We understand that there is a connection between our gut and our brain because what we absorb in our gut is the only source of nutrients that we have as humans. We are not plants, we don't produce fruits or chlorophyll. We have what we eat and we use it to produce hormones, neurotransmitters, cells, whatever we need in our body. So that connection exists. So today, ignoring that relationship is ignoring science.
Love it.
Uh, so again, it's we need to move on with the new technology and with the access to new knowledge. We cannot practice medicine as we did 20 years or 30 years ago when we didn't have the access to certain tests or certain information. We need to modernize ourselves with, I would
Knowledge.
say,
And
yes, with knowledge and ethics, right? Because there are
yes,
many things that are there, and we don't have yet all the parameters to regulate how much of the information of the DNA is too much, how much we should share, how much is useful, how much is 100% sure, and how much is still under investigation, and many other things. And I'm using the DNA as an example. I believe that there's a lot of things that will keep moving, hopefully, in the right direction. And the same way that these new resources are very helpful if they are used in an ethical way and by the right people, they could be very dangerous in the opposite situation, right? And
100%. Yeah.
and I try always to be very careful. And I know you say this, it's not voodoo, or my sister says kumbaya. No, no, it's the we have enough information to know that there are many things that are working and that are progressing in the right direction. We just need to be also very careful, because sometimes, under the umbrella of wellness or well-being, and even evidence-based, that is really evidence based in the laboratory or in animals and not yet in humans, we may be confused, right? And put our hopes into things that are not yet safe for our use. So yes, it's good to be excited about modern medicine. I am, but at the same time, I believe that our ethics, and our curiosity and our obligation of non harming others, uh, need to be just on the top continuously when we are treating patients, when we are educating the community, when we are sharing information.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, it's so vital. The ethics behind all that we're doing now really need to be, um, I think back to what we were saying before, empowering the individual and not being the victim, but making sure that they know that they can be the hero in their own health journey, and their story. So yeah, I think that that's vital and key in everything that you're doing. So that's great. That's excellent. Yeah. So going back to the retreats is an opportunity for you to connect with individuals to really create the right plan in which will help them move along. I mean, I know I witnessed firsthand one of your attendees from your February retreat, and I touched base with her yesterday, and she was going on and on about like how her life has literally changed and how she's healthier, she's happier, and she is more motivated in what she's doing day to day after attending your retreat. And I just think that it's really cool how how the changes that you're actually affecting on individuals. Can you just speak into that a little bit?
Yes, I have been very lucky, to be able to create these retreats with someone that I know since we were 3 years old, Sherry Gabriel. We come from very different worlds. She was an executive in Coca-Cola. She comes from the marketing, universe, and her skills are, now as an executive coach and a professor. So very different from me, the hospital, and teaching medical students, and practicing medicine and well-being. But together we have the same goal, and our goal is to help women to feel happier and healthier, and to be, again, the magical word, empowered, so they can live better lives, without compromising their health or their well-being. So, our adventure doing this these retreats really focus in providing information in a way that is fun, interactive, these are not classes in college or university. This is not heavy work. This is not traumatic. This is either voodoo or, isolation and meditation by itself. This is a 360 view of who you are and who you are in a group of people that are coming maybe from different backgrounds and with different skills than you, but they have in their heart the same mission for themselves to find a way to live their life better. And this is not only around medicine necessarily. We talk about health, of course, because it's one of the pillars of being or achieving well-being, but really is it's about everything and more. And we, in the previous retreat, we were talking about finances and we were talking about safety and we were talking about networking and, of course, health. And we saw different women shine during the process because this is not a two-woman show in front of others. This really is everybody shines there because the word of each of the ladies that participate is important. And sometimes I am teaching something, and most of the time I'm learning something, and Shiri feels like the same way. So this is not the typical retreat. This is really I would say, the creation of a community of women that want to grow together. And what we are doing is just facilitating the process and inviting women to join us so they can be part of it.
I love it. I love it. I think it's amazing. All that you've done and all that you're doing. I just want to celebrate you and Sherry and what you guys are doing with the retreat. Your books are amazing and retreat. So thank you so much, Dr. Z. It's been amazing to collaborate with you. I've learned so much. It's been just an honor. So thank you for your
I
time
feel the
today.
same. I
Thank
feel the
you.
same. Thank you so much for uh, being a friend, being
Yeah.
a
First
colleague.
and foremost. Yeah.
Yes, and an inspiration because I believe that your story is beautiful. What you are doing is beautiful, and the amount of people that you will be able to benefit with your project will be amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I'm excited to continue the conversation. And so until next time, I appreciate it. Take care.
Bye bye.